let's go ahead and put together a very simple Hello World app with Flutter. So because I'm using IntelliJ, I'm going to go ahead and say File, New, Project. So and this is what I get. So it says here that Flutter SDK is at this path here. It should have something similar. To the left here, you can see we have all these different options here, but what we're interested in is not Dart anymore, although in the background, Dart is going to still be used. What we want is Flutter. So click on Flutter instead of Dart, and let's go ahead and say next, and we're going to name our application. I'm going to call this first Flutter app. You can name whatever you want. Find the location that is good for you. You can add a little description, of course, if you wish to do so. And of course, it's an application type. And here for organization, it's usually the domain name or the reverse domain name, right? If your domain name is james.com, you would put something like com.james.app, something like this, okay? Android languages that are supported, of course, are Java and Kotlin. And for iOS languages, we have Objective-C and Swift. So it doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to just pick Swift for iOS. Very good. So we're going to say finish. Now, because I have another project that I was running earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and say I want to pick this window. So it overrides and opens this new project. And a few seconds later, you will see this beautifully designed project is ready. So there's a lot going on here, but we are going to focus on what's important at this point. You should have seen this code before. This is the boilerplate code, which we can run right away. It should give us that very simplistic application. It's always a good idea to run it, especially in the beginning of everything, just to make sure that things are set up and you are good to go. So because it's the first time, it may take a few seconds. And again, there it is, nothing really out of this world, but you can see it still works. Very good. So what we're going to do actually, I'm going to go ahead and stop this and close this down. We are going to get rid of pretty much everything. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and go something like this. Now we're going to have a problem here because we got rid of my app class. Okay, I'm going to just change this to home because that's what we're going to be creating here. Now, what we're going to do now is obviously create our home class. A faster way to do this is if you just say st. Now we have option for stateless or a stateful. We haven't talked about stateful yet. So what we are interested in is a stateless widget. So a very simplistic widget. And we're going to call this home. So notice now that we have our stateless widget class here, which is home. Now we don't have that problem. Now you should have a problem now because we have this test folder that we shouldn't be interested in at this point. So we'll go ahead and delete that altogether for now so we don't have to worry about it. So now we have a simplistic stateless widget here, which we call home, which is being passed in our RAN app. So obviously this is where we actually do all the work. So what we can do here, now notice it gives us a container, right? This widget container that, as the name implies, you can add other widgets inside of it. I'm going to just go ahead and pass a center instead. A center is another widget that allows us to center everything on the screen. Okay, so I can pass the child property here, which for now I'm going to just go ahead and pass a text. So our text here takes data information. That is, I'm going to say hello Flutter as such. And we need to finish with a semicolon there to finalize our statement. If I save this and give it a run, we should have a little problem. We have a little problem here because it says for our text widget here, we have to pass something else. If you can see, it's kind of quite small. It says rich text widgets require a directionality widget ancestor. All of that means is that at this point here, we added this text instead of a center. This text, in order to be drawn on the screen, there's one thing that it needs to be passed in order for this to be valid. What we need to pass here is directionality. So if we put comma here to pass another property in our text, just say D, notice there is this text direction. And you can see to the right here, it says that it accepts a text direction type or class. Okay, so I'm going to say text direction like this, and we have a few options. There is left to right, that's what it means, LTR, and there is right to left. Okay, so we need to specify that. So if I go like this, we specify. If you save, because we have hot reload, notice now we have no problem. Everything is good. Everything is actually showing up. That's the beauty here. Now, hot reload is a time saver because it helps us not to have to hit play all the time. So whenever you are developing, I'll suggest that you let your simulator or emulator running, and as you save the code, as you are developing and you're saving, it will in the background do the hot reload, so you don't have to worry about having to rerun every time. And just like that, we're able to show our text in our screen. If you go to Flutter documentation, do a little research to find more properties you can pass to your text so that you can change, for instance, the font or even the color and many other properties. Okay, just go ahead and do that little exercise, and I'll see you in the next video.